Good morning, viewers. You're now watching HornbillTV's Morning Pulse. BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla on Sunday said that a historic moment is expected in Parliament between April 16 and 18 as steps are being taken to fast-track the implementation of the Women Reservation. He stated that the move would ensure women receive their full constitutional rights. Poonawalla credited the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill in 2023 to the efforts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said he had issued pending for decades. He also criticized the previous United Progressive Alliance government, alleging that it treated the matter casually. According to him, although the bill was passed in 2010 in Rajya Sabha with the support of the Bharatiya Janata Party, it was never brought to the Lok Sabha, adding that some allies of the UPA had opposed the measure.
A historic moment is arriving in Parliament between 16th to 18th April when half the population, women of our country, will be given their full constitutional right by fast-tracking and removing the delay in the implementation of the Women's Reservation Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, which was also passed historically in 2023 because of the efforts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This has been hanging for decades. We saw how UPA government took it very casually. They passed it in Rajya Sabha with support of BJP in 2010, but they never brought it to Lok Sabha because survival was important. Their allies used to oppose it. But today, when there is a government which is completely committed to women's empowerment, gender empowerment, equality, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, to all steps of Nari Sashактikaran, women-led development, and now reservation for women in parliament and assemblies, then rather than support this reform, those who are coining slogan of Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu, they are writing articles and letters and removing new bahana and roadblock every day. Khadge ji says, I was not consulted. Khadge ji, Kiran Rijiju wrote a letter to you. You have insulted our leader from Northeast, from tribal community, and you have not even given him response properly. Sonia ji is making all new kinds of arguments. Then why in 2023 your party has supported unanimously the bill, the current bill? And they are saying that why you are bringing it now. But in 2023 the general consensus was कि अभी के अभी लागू कर दो. So when now we are implementing it so that 2029 Lok Sabha the women can have their rights, then they are opposing, they are creating a roadblock. And Congress is always on the wrong side of reform. They are not for UCC, they are not for Shah Banu case, they are not for triple talaq law. They are always cuddling anything for women's reform. Women of India are watching. Congress wants delay or they want delivery. Congress wants reform or they want roadblock. Congress wants confrontation or consensus. They want Nara, women empowerment ka, or they have Niti and Niyat to support this. They must tell us.
In another update, CPIM MP John Britus on Sunday expressed concerns over the proposed constitutional amendment bill expected to be introduced during a special session of the Parliament to increase the strength of the Lok Sabha from 543 to 816 seats. Britus claimed that under the proposed plan, southern states would gain around 63 to 65 seats, while northern states could see an increase of over 200 seats. He argued that such a shift would give North Indian states a significant advantage in national politics and potentially reduce the political influence of southern states in Parliament.
ഭരണഘടനാ ഭേദഗതികൾ പാസാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഈ പ്രത്യേക സിറ്റിംഗ്സ് എന്നാണ് പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയുടെ കത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. പ്രതിപക്ഷം സംയുക്തമായി ഗവൺമെന്റിനോട് അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ചിരുന്നു. രണ്ട് പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളിലെ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇതിനിടയിൽ തിരക്ക് പിടിച്ച് ഇത്തരമൊരു പാർലമെന്റ് സമ്മേളനം വിളിച്ചു ചേർക്കാൻ പാടില്ല. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എന്താണ് യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ ഈ പ്രത്യേക സമ്മേളനത്തിൽ സിറ്റിംഗ്സിൽ സർക്കാർ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് പാസാക്കാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, അവയുടെ വിശദാംശങ്ങൾ പ്രതിപക്ഷ പാർട്ടികൾക്ക് നൽകണമെന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ചിരുന്നു. പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയുടെ 2 പേജ് വരുന്ന കത്തിൽ ഗവൺമെന്റ് കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന ഭരണഘടനാ ഭേദഗതിയുടെ ഒരു വിശദാംശവും അടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല. അതേസമയം ഗവൺമെന്റ് വൃത്തങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ലഭിക്കുന്ന വിവരപ്രകാരം വനിതാ സംവരണം അടുത്ത ലോക്സഭാ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് മുതൽ നടപ്പിലാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി 50% സീറ്റുകൾ ലോക്സഭയിലും സംസ്ഥാന അസംബ്ലികളിലും വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കണമെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. എന്നുവെച്ചാൽ ഓരോ സംസ്ഥാനത്തു നിന്നുള്ള ലോക്സഭാ അംഗങ്ങളുടെ എണ്ണം 50% കണ്ട് ഉയരുകയും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നിയമസഭയിലെ അംഗസംഖ്യയും ഉയരുകയും ചെയ്യും. ഇത് പ്രത്യക്ഷത്തിൽ ഇതിലൊരു അപകടം കാണുന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ പോലും ശതമാനം അനുപാതക്കണക്കിൽ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാ സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾക്കും തുല്യമാണ് എന്ന് കാണാമെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഇത് ദക്ഷിണേന്ത്യക്ക് വളരെ അപകടകരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സാഹചര്യം സൃഷ്ടിക്കുമെന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞത്. ദക്ഷിണേന്ത്യൻ സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളുടെ ലോകസഭയിലുള്ള അംഗസംഖ്യ ഒരു 63-65 സീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വർദ്ധിക്കും. നിലവിലുള്ള സീറ്റുകളിൽ ഒരു 63-65 സീറ്റിന്റെ വർധനമുണ്ടാവും. അതേസമയം ഉത്തരേന്ത്യയിൽ 200-ലേറെ സീറ്റുകളുടെ വർധനമുണ്ടാവും. രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിൽ ശതമാനമോ അനുപാതവുമല്ല യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ പ്രസക്തം, മറിച്ച് ആക്ച്വൽ നമ്പറാണ്, ആബ്സൊല്യൂട്ട് നമ്പറാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ അടുത്ത സർക്കാർ ആര് രൂപീകരിക്കണം, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏത് നിയമം പാസ്സാക്കണം തുടങ്ങിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ശതമാനക്കണക്കിലല്ല നിർണ്ണയിക്കപ്പെടുക, അനുപാതക്കണക്കിലല്ല, ആബ്സൊല്യൂട്ട് യഥാർത്ഥ നമ്പറിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് നിർണ്ണയിക്കപ്പെടുക. അത് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഉത്തരേന്ത്യൻ സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾക്ക് ദേശീയ രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിന്റെ മേൽ വലിയൊരു മേൽക്കൈ ലഭിക്കുകയും ദക്ഷിണേന്ത്യക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴുള്ള ആ സ്ഥാനം പിന്നോട്ട് പോവുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന അവസ്ഥയുണ്ടാകും. മറ്റൊരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട വിഷയമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് മോഡി സർക്കാർ എല്ലാ കാലത്തും പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് മിനിമം ഗവൺമെന്റ് മാക്സിമം ഗവർണൻസ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ സീറ്റ് വർധനയിലൂടെ വലിയ ഒരു ഭാരം സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾക്ക് മേൽ വരാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. അതായത് എക്സ്ചക്കറിന് മേൽ വലിയ അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് ചെലവ് വർദ്ധിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്.
Ramesh Babu said that Congress MLAs from Karnataka meeting in Delhi to seek cabinet positions in natural as legislators across terms and asserting their claims amid likely reshuffle talks. He emphasized that such demands are part of internal party democracy and should be addressed within party forums.
No, it is not like that. Endorsing internal democracy, what the MLAs being first time, being second time, being third time, fourth time, fifth time, they are climbing their quota. Nothing wrong in that, because all are knows that reshuffle may be happened in coming days. That is why naturally they are going and demanding berth in the cabinet. Nothing wrong in that. At the same time, we request them to maintain internal democracy. Whatever they want to tell, they want to express, they have to tell or express within the four walls. So there is nothing wrong in that. They are what they are applying or climbing. So naturally they are climbing.
Bhagwan Mann announced that the Punjab Assembly has unanimously passed the Jagat Jot Shri Guru Granth Sahib Satkar Amendment Act 2026 on the occasion of the inauguration of the Khalsa Panth by Guru Gobind Singh. The bill introduces stringent provisions to address cases of desecration of the Guru Granth Sahib. The move comes against the backdrop of the repeated incidents of alleged sacrilege of the Guru Granth Sahib in Punjab over the past decades, which have sparked widespread protests and political unrest. One of the most significant flashpoints was the 2015 Punjab sacrilege incidents, where cases of desecration led to mass demonstrations and police action, deeply impacting public sentiment. Since then, there has been sustained demand from Sikh organizations and the public for stricter laws to prevent such incidents and ensure swift justice. The latest amendment reflects those long-standing demands for stronger legal protection and accountability.
ਅੱਜ 13 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ 1699 ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह जी ने खालसा की स्थापना की सी। सो अज श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेअदबी जो घटनावां ने उहदे विच सख्त सजावां रखण दा जिहड़ा बिल है, जागत जोत श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी सत्कार एक्ट अमेंडमेंट 2026 वो सर्वसम्मति नाल पास होया। मैं सारी दुनिया च वसदी नानक लेवा संगत नूं गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी दीआं सिक्ख्यावां ते गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी तो प्रेरित जिन्ने भी लोग इस वक्त देख रहे हैं, मैं सारिआं नूं बहुत बहुत बधाई देनी चाहुंदा।
Ayush Lohia welcomed the new EV policy unveiled by the Delhi government, calling it forward-looking and consumer-friendly. He said the policy clearly signals a shift from petrol vehicles to electric mobility and is beneficial for both consumers and manufacturers.
The EV policy is very prospective, very future looking, and we are very positive with this policy. There is no doubt about it that government has given us clear-cut mandate that they want to shift from gasoline vehicles to electric vehicles, and they have also mandated very clearly by when they want to be 100% electric for every new vehicle sold in Delhi. So overall, I'll see this policy is very positive and gives a very positive approach for the consumer as a whole and for the manufacturers also.
And sir, with this policy, like EV, or three-wheeler auto segment is a very big, but I would say public transport in the city. So being a leader or manufacturer in this segment, the charging infra is also a challenge. So what government has given on that, and how do you see that? What more can be done on it?
So basically, in this policy is concerned, this new EV draft policy which government has released, it has covered every aspect of the industry, apart from only one aspect which is missing. I'll also brief you on that. So majorly, if you see from the consumer perspective, the government has very clearly mandated what incentives will be given. They have clearly mentioned about the benefit of receiving scrapping old vehicle, gasoline vehicle, and buying a new electric vehicle. They have also very clearly mandated for the infrastructure issues, whether you're talking about charging stations, swapping stations, buses and everything. Those are also been clearly mentioned and already recorded in the policy. The only thing which is not mentioned was something related to retail finance, which is also a very integral part of the complete ecosystem, which need to be clearly defined, because even today if you see electric vehicle, the financing cost is way too high as compared to any gasoline vehicle, and even the cost effective, the priority lending segment benefits which are there are not included in the policy from the center side also and from the state government side also. So that is one aspect which I think is still missing in overall EV policy.
So sir, can you
Congress leader Ramesh Chenitala termed DLH suicide of BDS student Nitin Raj as a serious issue, alleging harassment and discrimination by college authorities. He called it a case of injustice, demanded a thorough probe and urged the government to take stricter action against those responsible.
This is a very sad incident, and this is the second Rohit Benmula in Kerala. And this kind of persecution on the basis of caste, creed and color cannot be accepted. Nitin Raj was a very studiously studying, and he was trying to write the NEET exam to get admission for MBBS. And the college authorities and the teachers and HOD were harassing him time and again. It has been complained, but no action has been taken. So it's a very serious issue, and I feel that government has to take a serious note of this and have a proper inquiry, and the culprits should be booked before the law. We will give all support, legal support to this family to unearth the facts and punish the culprits.
9 people have been arrested in connection with the murder of Youth Congress leader Firoz Pathan, who was killed on April 10, and Sashi Kumar confirmed that the investigation is ongoing, with police still working to apprehend additional suspects involved in the case.
On April 10th of this month, in Ashmi Nagar of Dharwad town, there was a murder of one person called Firoz Pathan, age 33 years. And in this pretext, about 9 people have been arrested as of now. There was a struggle and friction on day-to-day basis between the deceased and the prime accused of the case. And as of now, we have arrested about 9 people, and the investigation is on. We are yet to arrest a few more people who are involved in this offense.
Violent protests erupted at Madasan Group facility in Noida Phase 2, where employees agitated over salary hike demands. The situation escalated into clashes with reports of stone pelting and damage to vehicles and property. That's all for now. For more news, keep watching Hornbill TV.